Hello, hello. Welcome to my Filipino Hustle Fridays series. I'm super excited about today's episode. I can't even keep count. I know I'm in my let me see which episode is probably in the 30s, but I'm really excited to have Kyle. And I know I've heavily focused on Filipino Americans, but you are Canadian
Yeah,
and
whoop whoop, Canada. And I didn't know
we
what
could
episode was this? Six, seven, six, seven.
of course, right.
Yeah.
Uh, and before we dive in, of course, I want to do a quick intro on Kyle. I've been lucky enough to actually meet other Filipino Canadian entrepreneurs and even some from the UK. So you never know what happens when you start doing a show like this. So I'm really excited about today's episode. So, okay, so Kyle, aka Kallizzle, is a Toronto-based content creator and digital storyteller known by the bio. Um, Kyle Toronto Discontent Creator.
Yeah, yeah, there you go. Pun
He,
intended. Yeah.
he has built a following of 300,000 plus on TikTok with over 25 million likes and over 200,000 on Instagram, producing content that reflects his cultural roots and personal experiences. His style blends candid storytelling, cultural pride, and social media savvy, positioning him as a voice for everyday people and community connection. So excited to have you today.
You make me sound 1 billion times cooler than what I am.
I
I
have
would
a
have
great
said
team.
thanks, team, because I would have said if you had me submit that, I would have said, okay, just tell them I like to make videos and post them, you know? Yeah. But thank you so
This is
much. I'm
great.
so happy to be here. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. And you have a great view right now. You got a great,
Oh
awesome
yeah.
backdrop, right?
Some of the fruits of my labor. Thank you, TikTok and the social media. As you can see, I'm on the 32nd floor penthouse suite here in New York City right now. Yeah,
It looks real.
yeah, looks real. It's real AI. Yeah.
And so we stumbled upon your account through Instagram, and I think it might have been a couple of the posts where you either like do kind of a bit with you and your mom,
Yeah.
just like mom, and then she's like always stressed out, anxiety, Filipino anxiety, right? Like, don't do
Yeah.
that, you're gonna get hurt, that kind
Yeah.
of thing.
They're extra. Filipino
Well, I'm
moms are
extra.
extra. Yeah, and
Exactly.
one day I'll be a Filipino dad, so I'll be extra too. Yeah. Who knows? I could already be a Filipino dad. I don't know. So, um,
Um,
but yeah, I'm glad you found one of those mom videos. I know I put out hundreds of them, and it's just because there's so much to pull from. Like, let's be real. Like, I can I just speak? Like, I
oh
didn't know
yeah,
that.
absolutely.
I thank you. Like, I didn't know that. I didn't know that it would connect so hard when I started making those videos. It was all accidental. I remember just walking on the beach one day. I was on the beach as kings do, walk on the beach. And in a beach in Ontario, so it's lake water beach, so kind of gross. I was just walking on it, and I was like, dude, I just imagined like something that, let's be honest, it wasn't actually my mom. Something that my tita said to my cousin, who my cousin was a full blown lifeguard, and she was like running into the water on the beach, still water, and my tita, like I imagine this didn't really happen in front of me. This is probably like a previous memory, and my tita is yelling, "Hi, don't do that, don't do that, you're gonna drown, you're gonna drown." And I'm like, yo, that's really funny, and so I filmed it and I recorded it, and I remember waking up and I'm like, yo, people like that video because it like hit like a million hits like overnight. And that's when it sort of started. I'm like, oh, I feel like everyone can relate to this Filipino mom character, and I don't even have to make anything up. I just have to remember things that happened to me, happened to my cousins, or even happened to my uncles and aunts. Like because I still see like Lola and Nola doing that stuff to this day. So everyone sort of gets it. They get it. Yeah.
It's pretty universal. It's pretty amazing. It's hilarious. I might not be doing this to my kids, like, "Psst, no, wait," like, but I definitely have
Yeah.
anxiety about them hurting themselves. Like, it's definitely ingrained.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. And like with my little cousins, like you know, I play me, and you know, me getting in trouble a lot, but when I discipline my little cousins, I'm the same way, you know. Don't touch that. Do it again. Do it again. Do it again. You know?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Do you think, I really think even just with social media alone, the Filipino community has gotten a lot of publicity and
Oh,
or also I think it's a combination of like us supporting one another and we just get excited and just share it with others, like even our friends who are not Filipino, because
mm.
I there's something to it. Like our culture is very funny, just entertaining, of course. We're talented in many ways, voice,
Yes.
singing,
It's
dancing,
yeah, yeah.
all the things in comedy.
Yeah, it's interesting that you mentioned that because you know, I grew up here in Scarborough, Toronto. Uh it's a very multicultural borough of Toronto, and all around me was always Filipinos, you know. Well, Filipinos are everywhere here. And I always felt like we were so prevalent and prominent. So I the huge like influx of Filipino culture based media on social media, um, I never at first took it as like, oh, we're sort of coming up in the scene as sort of like a culture, a nation, a culture, an ethnicity, whatever, to be
Right.
recognized, right? Like I just thought it's like, oh, I'm getting fed this stuff because I'm Filipino, right? And I was never one like this. Is what's funny. I was never one to be like, hey, I'm Mr. Philippines, Filipino, Filipino, you know, because like, dude, everyone here is Filipino, you know. So like, I'm like, whatever, bro. Like, yeah, we're all Filipino, big deal. And I'm just being honest, you know. I made this content because I thought it was funny to make fun of the silly things that our parents do. Um, that being said, I realize I might have helped in like conglomerating a culture together through the internet, which was already happening without me, right? Um, but when people of like all different ethnicities come up to me and say, "Hey, I've seen your videos," or "I like that character," or like they ask, "Who does the voice of Tita? Who does the?" And like this dude is like Ethiopian, or like this guy's from Newfoundland, and you know, and he's like, "Yo, I love your videos. My mom's the same way," but like I'm whatever. I'm realizing, yeah, yo, people are actually starting to see like Filipino culture, and we're sort of stepping up on a stage where we're becoming mainstream. That's the you know. See, I knew I was gonna land upon it. You know, I, we're becoming more mainstream as like a popular like culture in the media. I always thought I felt like to touch on what you said. I've always felt like Filipinos are so talented. Like like you said, we can all sing, we can all dance. We're funny. Um, we can do all these things. We're nice. Blah blah blah.
The food.
Oh, the food is great. I just feel like we could be recognized. Like K-pop is huge, right? Korean culture,
Hmm.
K-pop is huge. We could do that too, yo. We could be like that too. Like Filipino artistry and talent is, I think, at a league of its own, in a league of its own,
Right.
at a league of its
Yeah.
own,
Yeah.
whatever, you know.
Yeah.
And I just feel like
Absolutely.
I think now is the time, and I think social media is going to be a big push for that. And we're already seeing that, like with huge Filipino acts that are like coming out, right? So,
Yeah.
see,
Yeah.
I told
I
you I'm a
mean,
rambler, and I have no idea what I just said.
it's
So,
no,
yeah,
no, it was fine.
okay,
It's
all right.
and you know, you got folks like I didn't really know much about Joe Coy being a Filipino stand-up, his style of comedy and all that. But I think what really helped him get blown up was his specific stories about, you know, his Filipino background and upbringing with his mom. Like those bits
Right.
that he would throw in, like that's what really helped him, like I think, go big. And being on Netflix is huge.
Mm.
Um,
Yeah, it's sort of
so
like it's sort of what captured his. I'm not gonna say his niche because you know Joe Coy is what he's really good at is using that stuff, but also he's got like a whole his whole act is based on other things that's not Filipino centric, which is I think an important thing too. Is like we have to be so careful, especially someone like me, to not like overly just like oh Filipino 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 just because like sorry I had too much pancit earlier.
oh yeah,
No, but um
drink water, yeah,
yeah,
absolutely.
I I don't want to like what's the term, what's the word I'm looking for?
It's like you're not just making fun of the Filipino culture or like,
Well, that's
you know,
another thing too. Is like I'm so
focusing
serious, right? Like when I put out these videos, there's so much thought that goes behind them. There's so like even though they're short and silly sometimes, like I have to make sure, am I offending? I don't want to offend anyone. I don't want people to get the wrong impression. I don't want the joke to be too gimmicky. Like I don't want the joke to be just, let's say, an accent, right? That's my thing. Accents are funny. Everyone can do accents, right? But if the joke is just the accent, you risk offending a lot of people. And me being a Filipino Canadian, born and raised in Toronto, I was about to say born and raised in the Philippines. So, oh, I'm an imposter, guys. You know, a lot of people ask me, "Do you have imposter syndrome?" They go, "Do you have imposter syndrome?" And you know, my answer to that is, "Do I have imposter syndrome? Don't you know who I think I am?" but, but yeah. Anyway, yeah, I there has to be a joke. There has to be more
a
than just the
story.
accent. A
Right.
story, right? There's a reason why I'm, yeah, putting this stuff out there. But yeah, Joe Coy, he really struck a chord with everybody. Like I remember seeing Joe Coy for the first time on TV, and it was the joke about his mom, and I'm like, dude, my mom's just like that shit.
Oh yeah.
I'm sorry.
That's fine.
Oh,
It's fine.
okay, sorry.
It's PG-13. It's fine.
Okay, my mom's just like that, you know? And I'm like, that's hilarious. And I'm like, oh, that's crazy. Like, we're all like that. Like, everyone here in his audience is laughing. Like, they're all like that too. And, but mind you, that was like years and years before I even thought about making any videos, right? So,
Yeah. No, and um it's funny because I know him being from LA, it makes me think about the Kendrick Lamar Drake drama, West Coast versus East Coast. We
yeah.
had joked about that.
Okay, can we just like
Don't get me
call it off?
started. I'm from
Can we,
California. West Coast is the best
okay,
coast, bro.
fine. Drake, Kendrick, whatever side you're on, fine. But can we just call it for what it is? Someone angered someone. This guy
It's beef.
angered this entity. Maybe this entity can't make money off some guy. So now
Right.
let's like discredit this guy by dethroning him with our guy. Let's just and then give him a Grammy.
And right. Well,
I
and
mean,
it
like,
worked. It worked. Like I'm saying for both of them, I'm sure they both racked up on,
yeah.
records and everything. So like
I
it's
feel like people. Yeah, you're right. And people just have to realize the industry is the industry.
mhm.
It's a mirage, and there's a lot going on behind the scenes. And if you're one of those people, I'm talking to the masses out here. If you're one of the people that think they know what's going on, dude, you don't. You know, and you can guess, but like it's not. This is not about art versus art. This is not about credibility versus credibility. This is, you know, which is okay. Which is okay because I stood by Drake. I felt like
Of course.
I stood by Drake. Hey, Drake lives like 20 minutes down that way because Toronto's like that, right? You
Oh,
get really pockets of like really wealthy, and then you get
uh-huh.
pockets of like even wealthier. You know what I mean?
Well, it's same thing in California. Then you got like,
Yeah.
but yeah, same
Oh,
thing
I
when I
love
grew
LA
up.
though. I love LA. I was just there. I love LA. I was just there in June or July. I forget. My manager's out in
hmm
LA. You know, that's right.
Oh, yeah, I wanted to ask you about that too.
Yeah.
But I was surrounded by Filipinos too. So when I moved outside of Daly City or just, left the Bay Area, I didn't realize it wasn't always like that. Not as diverse or surrounded by Filipinos,
Right.
so being in the South is not like that.
Right. Yeah.
So but yeah, no, I completely understand. But it's true, like you can say Filipinos for decades have been under the radar, but there have been amazing talent that have come through and accomplished so much. But you, like you said, you have a manager. So how, like, at what, can you kind of tell us the story of like why you got into it eventually? Not, it was beyond a hobby of posting things for fun, and then
Yeah.
now you get paid to do what you do as an influencer.
Yeah.
Um,
So let me share my like sort of uh origin story, right?
yeah.
Yeah, this is my villain arc, right? As the kids say. No, so I was never like a social media person. I was a music person, you know, growing up. I was like, well, I tout myself. Like, no one ever says this about me. I just say I was like a musical prodigy, right? Because I could play like a bunch of instruments. But like classic like Filipino parents, they wouldn't like invest in my talent. Like, I'm like, yo, like I was so interested in music, and you know, God bless their souls. You know, my dad got me like this like $50 guitar from like the thrift store, and that's I taught myself how to play guitar on that when I was like 8, and I wanted to play drums. And like, long story short, I got into this music career thing, and it just wasn't working out. And I got to a point where in my life where my mom was just like really, really on my back. You got to do something with your life. You're getting older. You got to do something with your life. You know.
Doctor,
She,
engineer.
yeah. Like, good. You know, she was like, there was one point she used
Nurse.
to and I, you know, I'm a good boy now, but there was a point where I was not a good boy. I remember she used to call me demonio, which means demon. Yeah, that was my nickname. You know, I know Filipinos usually have nice nicknames, like or like silly nicknames, boo boy, Tintin. Mine was demonio. You know, and yeah. Anyway, so I got a real job, a nice real job, like a city. Like I drove a truck. I was a mover for a long time. I tried so many other like different business ventures. Um, for a long time, I just struggled. You know, hard labor, waking up early, lifting heavy stuff. You know, working in the snow, just you know, building that muscle. And what
Yeah,
ended up
the
happening,
Toronto snow. Oh my gosh.
yeah, it's crazy. Imagine waking up at like 6 in the morning, going to your truck. You have to go move this like mansion, and then the truck won't start because there's like 3 foot of snow surrounding your truck, and it's too cold. It's negative 20 Celsius, and then your boss is going, if you don't start that truck, you're fired. You're like, oh my god, what do I do? You know, and like this was not it. This was not the life. So when I got that cushier job for working for like it was like a government job, but I was still driving. I thought I was like set. I thought like this was it. I'm like, yo, you know what? I realized in my life, this was after like also sort of failing in music. I realized I think what I need out of life is just sort of to be able to do what I want out of my life, which means you need some security, which is like an income. You need time, which is I guess your vacation days and your off days and your sick days. Um, and you need your family. And but me being me, I realized about 3 years into that life, 2 years into that life, I needed to like make stuff. I needed to do something. Like I found myself like living a regular life and like making like videos, not on TikTok because I didn't know what TikTok was. Just like on like iMovie. I'm like making like little like magic trick videos on iMovie. And I've always been sort of creative like that, right? And then one day I tried to go back to school. This is what happened. I tried to go back to school because I wanted to move up in this company because I'm like, okay, I need more money because life is hard out here, you know. And what ended up happening was they're like, you can't apply for school because you owe so many schools so much money. You 3-time dropout, you quitter, right? So I couldn't apply for school, and I was sort of lost for like a couple months. And then, you know, because I'm a little older than people think. So I was not on TikTok. I was on YouTube, and I was looking at like instant karma compilations on YouTube. And a lot of these videos had like a TikTok watermark. And I was like, what is TikTok, yo? What is this thing? Because I thought it was like a dancing thing. And I'm like, I'm Filipino, but I cannot dance, so I'm not going to download TikTok. So I download TikTok. It turns out you can make videos on it. So I'm like, yo, this is fun. And I just started doing it for fun. I'm like, let me see if I can make a video that'll make a lot of people laugh. And I think after about a month or two, I had a video go like what I thought was like massive viral. Um, well, it did well, like a couple 100,000 views, like in like a week. And I'm like, yo, if I can do this once, I could do this again. And it was just a very like laying brick and mortar type effort. Like, yo, very practical. Like I was thinking, if I can build up a bigger following, I heard people make money off of this, you know? So like let me just like see like how I can generate some income. So let me like make videos, and but really it's all about making funny videos because if like the business people say, if you're not adding value, you're not going to accept anything back. There's not going to be no reward for it. there's no monetary gain for zero value, right? You're just going to be a scam or a gimmick, right? So I'm like, okay, let me just focus on the videos. And then I would get like a viral video like every month. But I'm like, yo, this is not it. Like, I'm not making no money from this. And mind you, we're in Toronto, so I don't get any money off of views. To this day, no money off of views, which is like, people go, yo, that sucks. And I'm like, honestly, yo, that's what makes me a G. Cause like, you're telling me I don't get that money and I'm still doing this and I'm still trying to find ways to like thrive. I feel like that's like battling, like at its highest form. You know what I mean? Anyway, so I ended up getting this one company, which was like a money remittance company, offering to pay me to make a video. And at the time, it was what they were willing to pay me for like 2 videos for in the span of a month would have like matched, was more than 1.5 times one paycheck at work. And I was like, hold on, there's something here. You know what I mean? And I thought I was going to kill it from the get-go. This was like 2024 or 2023, like March. And I remember like they paid me once, paid me twice, but that was it. After that, they like sort of dropped me from the deal. The videos didn't do that well. I wasn't getting any more popular. Everything was just going downhill, like downhill. I'm like, oh my God. And like, I felt like I was going to let my mom down again because like, you know, everything was just failing. But I told myself like, yo, you cannot like accept defeat. Like you cannot like let this go. And it's, if you've already proven, at this point I had probably like 5,000 followers on TikTok. So like still like nothing, right? Like compared to what I have now. I and I wasn't going viral that much. And but I told myself like, yo, if you just like persist and if you just like keep going, you don't know what could happen, right? And you have to look past the embarrassment. And then what happened was in July, I came up with that idea, the Filipino mom idea, or is it August, something like that. And people love that idea. And from that, I was able to like really focus in and build off of that. And now it's been like 2 years. And since then, yeah, my life has definitely changed. It's changed. And yeah, now like I do make money off of not all the videos, off of like sponsored posts, obviously. Yeah.
Wow, that's great. And I know you've probably had a career, and
Yeah.
I like how you mentioned earlier too, like now it's all about making a world within your channels so that products and brands reach out to you because they want to be a part of that world. I liked how you mentioned that in our prior conversation. So have people contacted you through like your social media channels and email? Like, and I
Right.
think it took us a while to really land this interview. So I'm glad
Oh,
your agent followed up after we sent an email. Like, we're not going to give up on this guy. We never said no. He never said no yet. So we kept reaching out.
yeah. I'm sorry.
No, it's
Well,
not on you.
I'm happy you guys kept reaching out then. Yeah, because like I'm having a blast. Because
Yeah.
I'm a yapper. But yeah. Um, you're right. Like I realized I had to in order to profit off of this, and like mind you, I'm not saying like I'm doing all this for the money, but there's a certain amount of like effort that goes into this, and there has to be a payoff, right? There has to be a monetary payoff also, because if there isn't, then it's actually costing me a lot to do this. So I realized if I'm not going to be getting paid off of views, um, I have to get those sponsored posts. And I realized that in order to do that is you have to be sort of like a commercial guy. You have to have brands reach out to you, um, and they and for me, I realized, okay, I'm gonna create this lore. I'm gonna create this universe. I'm gonna create this story, which you know what I say like, oh, I'm gonna create. No, it sort of happened organically, right? But that's what ended up happening was I have this universe, this lore, this story that brands do want to be incorporated in now. So, for example, so for example, I don't know if I'm allowed to say it. I don't know. Let me just
I
say
mean,
like
maybe you could just say like high
there's
level.
yeah, like there are certain brands that like reach out And the meeting really is like, we want to be in that story, right? But then my thing is now I have to be able to deliver. So like, yo, this ain't free, especially for me. I'm also a rapper, but anyway, it's because
Music
now
background makes sense.
music background, yeah. But it's because I now have to put out a video that makes the audience happy. So it still has to be a video where the audience goes, oh yeah, it's one of those Kyle videos and it's relatable and it's funny. So there has to be a story and a point. Then I have to like incorporate what the brand wants and make it obvious so the brand's happy, but be nonchalant so the audience isn't upset.
Right.
And then I have to prep all that, record, write, edit, make whatever. I almost said mix and master. So, but I have to do all that stuff. So yeah, it's hard work, and yeah, they do reach out. It's through email. Yeah, DMs. I have to say, DMs is really difficult.
It was probably overwhelming, right?
Overwhelming is the right word. I remember when I first started out and I first started gaining traction, I would get hundreds of DMs, and now it's not just like one inbox, right? There's like multiple inboxes. So it's like, oh, there's primary, general, partnership, or whatever, and there's like requests. There's hidden requests. There's the forbidden requests. Like I don't know. Like there's so many. Like I don't know. And if you click one, it'll move to another one. And then what I found was I would get all these. If we're running short on time, we can go a little longer if you want.
Sure.
If I would find that if I responded to one, I didn't want to just give like a blanket response. I was so like detailed with it. Like I was so like, oh, thank you, and blah blah blah, and like I wanted to be heartfelt, right? And then I would like, oh, I can't just respond to one. I gotta go to the next one. And then I would spend like a whole like 2 hours going through, and like you only responded to like 30, and you're like, dude, I can't do this every day because then where's the time to make anything, like, or like to even just live. Like if I do that, then like, okay, there's no video post tonight. Then there's no like food on the table. Then my mom's mad because I didn't pick her up from work. Like I can't, and I can't just like go there liking everything because I feel like liking looks rude. You know what I mean? Like I'm an overthinker. So to anyone that's DM'd me, there's a chance I've seen it. There's a chance I haven't. There's most likely a chance I haven't. I sort of, but I do have someone that does look at them for me from time to time, and
that's good.
Yeah, they do help me out with that. If she sees one,
I want to make sure we share it.
Oh, perfect. Yeah.
Yeah.
I love the DMs that I get from people saying, it reminds me of their mother, especially when they feel like they're going through like a hard time. Sometimes people have lost their mothers and they message me, and I just want to reach out to those people. I want to say thanks for those messages. Like those messages really help me continue doing what I do. Because as you scroll through my page, you know what I go through? I go, I'm like, oh my God, who does this guy think he is? Look at all this. Oh my, like.
Wearing Lakers shirt right there. That's what I think you visited, right? That's why.
Yeah, I was wearing that Lakers shirt in one of the videos, and then my Bay Area cousin was like, yo, take that off. I was like, dude, chill out, bro.
He's like anti-LA.
Yeah, what's up with the Bay Area people? Y'all are so aggressive against everyone not from the Bay.
Yeah, it's pretty bad.
But I think
we're just so proud. The pride is like.
I love the Bay. I love Serramonte Mall.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, you should have seen it before the 90s. It was like so bad. But now it's gotten so much better. They cleaned it up.
Someone told me I was out there and I put on my story. I'm like, I'm in San Francisco. And they're like, yo, go to Serramonte Mall. So I went and I put on my thing. I was gonna be there. And then people were like pulling up, like, yo, I came here to see you. I'm like, oh my God, this is really cool, but also really scary. Like I didn't know the power of like the internet. You know what I mean? I'm like, I gotta be careful. Yeah.
So you had people actually pull up and like, oh, he's there, he's at the mall, taking photos.
Oh yeah, like yeah.
Celebrity status.
You have to beware sometimes. I remember the first time like I got recognized. I thought the guy was trying to like fight me, like I landed from I was at the airport. I got off the plane. I'm walking through security or whatever, and this guy's like mugging me. What is this guy looking at? And like, before this life, I was very much Scarborough life. And if anyone from Toronto or knows what Scarborough, you know what I mean by that. I was very much like a Scarborough type guy. So if you're looking at me, I'm like, bro, it's on, bro. So
It's
I'm like,
on.
okay, yeah, it's like, what's
That's like
good? It's like, what's
California, you
good?
don't look at anybody.
What's good, right?
You do not make eye
Why are
contact
you,
in the Bay.
why are you, yeah, why are you looking at me, bro? So, and they just kept staring. And it was to the point where I'm like, okay, do I say something? And then he goes, yo, TikTok, TikTok, TikTok. And I was like, oh, okay, it's okay. That took a while for me to get used to. Like a good 3 to 4 months, like people coming up to me. I thought everyone was trying to like attack me. And I was like, oh no, they have a phone. That's why they know.
Yeah, that's like getting used to another level of fame, I guess. And I can't imagine being like someone like Mr. Beast, who's like the top content creator and he can't go anywhere. He misses being normal. I've heard him say on an interview, like walking anywhere and not being recognized. But I
Yeah,
know
for
it's like
sure.
this
Yeah.
this this time flies, and I wanted to make sure that we get to ask you the other question too, like in terms of being able to support your family, doing this now, which probably is a lot of fun for you. And it's pretty much like running a small media company, right?
Mm.
There comes a lot of challenges. Do you get mentorship, or does your manager kind of help you along the way to figure out how to navigate this type of business?
First and foremost, I feel like I lucked out with my manager. So I was trying to do this on my own for the longest time. I actually had an agent for a bit. Like, so when I had that big trajectory, um, someone reached out from a prominent agency, and I'm like, okay, let them deal with it. And I did that, but I just, sometimes it just doesn't feel right. Sorry. So I'm getting choked up. But
Aw,
sometimes, no, I'm not. I'm just clearing my throat. It
classic.
doesn't it doesn't work out, but I opted to leave that, and then I was like,
Mhm.
you know what? I'm just gonna do it by myself because like I have a I can email, I can type, I can read. You know what I mean? So I ended up getting like a bunch of people reaching out to me, like businesses, brands. I think I can name some like TFC, which is the Filipino channel.
Yeah,
Um, they like
that's
obviously
good.
like who doesn't want to partner with the Filipino channel? Like I grew up watching that stuff. You know what I mean? Western Union, I got
Hmm.
Spotify, Philippines,
Nice.
Gillette, and the
Hmm.
Toronto Raptors. Um,
Oh, Toronto Raptors, boo.
oh
Go
my,
Warriors.
I was yeah. I can
It's
see
okay.
why you'd be mad. I would be mad too. I would be
Yeah.
mad too. Yeah.
No, it's okay. No,
Steph Curry though, he spent so much time here in Toronto. You know that he grew up here kind of as a child. And
oh.
Aisha's
Oh
from like up the street, Markham, like
oh
30
my
minutes that way.
gosh.
Yeah.
Yeah, they have multiple houses. They have one in Florida, and they have, I'm sure they
I
have a
think
lot
they're
of things.
renting one next to me actually. So, but
It
yeah.
looks like it. I can see it from there. Um, no, this is great. Before like we wrap up, I wanted to ask you, what would you like to say as words of wisdom or words of inspiration to Filipino community out there?
Okay. Yeah. Words of wisdom or inspiration. Words from the wise and the inspiring. Okay. No, I'll to be to be coherent and genuine and thoughtful and present. I would say realize. Oh, that sounds so cliche. No.
It's okay. You know where.
No, no, no.
I
I
mean, I
gotta, I
liked how
gotta.
earlier you were saying being persistent. You stayed persistent. You did not accept defeat, and that was like, to me, that was a great bit right there as far as part of your
Okay.
experience.
Yeah. Okay. No excuses. No excuses. This is your life. Um, you have to. You can shape your life. You can mold your life. I wasn't big on TikTok. I became big on TikTok and social media or whatever, not by accident. This was not by accident. There was there was no accident involved. You have to take hold of what you want out of life, and you have to find a very practical, approach to something that's so impractical to achieve. And it's there. Like even getting to the moon is possible. It seems like it's impossible, but then if you figure out the science behind thrusters and this, and flat earthers come for me, whatever. But my point is, the things that seem so lofty and seem so far away, they are if you don't make the first move. Just move, and you gotta navigate and weave and up and down. And even me, every day is a struggle. But like,
Yeah.
you just gotta keep going. You gotta keep going, and you gotta know what you really want. I don't want to be Mr. Napoleon Hill, Think and Grow Rich, but
Yeah.
a lot of woo to like that kind of thinking, manifestation. A lot of woo to
Right.
it. Don't let the woo fool you. Don't be like, oh, if I just think about it, it'll happen. I'm like, it's not. But they've taken that premise and they've simplified it so they think anyone can achieve anything. But at its core, you'll never get to where you want to go if you don't strive for it and you don't believe you can get there, and if you don't really see where you like want to end up. And even for me, I know where I want to be in terms of like what I want for me and my family, but I don't know what that's going to look like. I don't know what the figure amount is going to be. I don't know how I'm going to get it, but all I know is if I just keep moving, and I know here that like I will have that, because this is my life. Why would I lose? It's just your life. Why would you lose? Don't let yourself lose.
Yeah.
Then I'll probably get it. And if I don't, then I don't know.
It's okay. No, it's true. Like if you don't aim for a certain target or a goal, then you won't even get close to that. It's better that you are, envisioning that, right? Think and Grow Rich. And I know that book. Do you want to give any last shout outs to your parents for everything?
Oh, mom and dad, are you proud now? Jeez, so difficult. Oh my God. Like even now, like I'll put out a video and it doesn't do as well as like a really, really, like I'll have a video that like does like 10 million on Instagram, and I put out a video that does like 600,000. She's like, why is it low? I'm like, bro, are you kidding me? This is crazy.
This is
My
great.
dad's like, are your numbers still going up? Like, why? So I can buy you a vacation in Mexico? Dude, come on.
That's funny. You should do a post on that.
That's so funny. Yeah.
Very cool. Very cool. Well, thank you so much for, I'm glad we worked this out. I mean, I think it's been a year in coming with your agents
No way.
following
Oh
up.
my
You
God.
should look at the email thread and look.
Okay, well, yeah, shout out my agent. No, not agent. My manager, Andrew. He's the best in the world. I gotta tell you, I was like, I don't want no manager. And then like he hit me up in the DMs. He DM'd me, and I remember thinking, is this real? I think everyone's scamming me, right? I'm like, I think everyone is scamming. Like, if I get a phone call, I won't pick it up. I think it's a scam. So I'm like, dude, this guy's trying to scam me. And then I'm like, wait, he manages like all these people that are humongous. I'm like, oh, he's real.
Oh,
Yeah.
cool.
So that's why I trusted him. And I'm like, you know what? I can't do all this negotiating by myself. And then yeah, he sort of like, yeah, God sent, because now I don't have to do any of that stuff. He just does it for me.
That's awesome. Well, I know you have to run, and to be
Yeah.
respectful of your time, is there anything else you want to do? We shared your channels. Make sure that everybody knows about your account, and people can email you, and your manager will help out with the follow-up.
Sweet. No, I'm so happy to do this. Thank you so much. I appreciate your persistence and your patience in trying to get me to do this. I'm like Elon Musk, I got so many things to do,
And thank you so much. I mean,
my rocket
your
ship is up
penthouse
there.
here.
Yeah.
Yes, and beautiful views. Yeah, no, thank you for taking the time out of your day to talk about your story and inspiring others and entertaining others and connecting with others on your socials. So keep at it, and I wish you all the best and success. Keep in touch.
Thank you so much.